Good morning. I am technically challenged this morning. My laptop isn't recognizing the microphone or the camera. So that's why we're running a little bit behind. So this morning we're talking about wins and how important it is to not just celebrate the big wins and the goals of where we want to be with our dog's behavior or our client's dog's behavior, but to actually think about how we can celebrate those small little baby step wins as we go. Because we might have a goal, or our client might have a goal of a dog stopping barking every time someone walks past the house. But actually what we want to be doing is looking at the micro wins before we get to that point. Because if we can focus on baby steps, we're going to be setting the dog and the guardian up for success. The big milestones are fabulous, but it's how far we've come to get to that point that we really want to be looking at. So if you're looking at mastering a really spot on recall every time, and that's the only benchmark that you're setting, then you're not focusing on the micro little baby steps to get to that point. Small wins really aren't small. They are massive shifts internally for the dog. So if we can speak to guardians about what those micro steps might look like, then we're going to help them to really get that little wow, this is worth it, it's working, rather than actually I saw someone on TikTok master a recall in 45 seconds and my dog's not there yet, so this isn't working and it's failed. So let's think about what those micro steps might look like, and how we can support clients in reframing what progress actually looks like. So if we can have some physical prompts, or if we're doing things on Zoom, maybe a Zoom whiteboard where you can draw a graph and sort of show a client an actual line graph of what success looks like to get to the point that they want to achieve. So, for example, if a dog, the goal is that the dog is reactive on walks, and you want to stop the dog being reactive to other dogs on walk, it could be that the dog maybe looks at another dog and didn't bark. So there was a pause before they reacted. What we want to be doing is thinking about how we can get the client to recognize that little pause, or the look without the reaction, so they can see that there's progress. And if we can get them to identify that little micro look, we can get them to mark it and give some sort of positive, even verbal cue, and redirect the dog and move away before there's that reaction. We want to celebrate when our dogs are curious and when they feel that they're able to sniff and explore, because they are signs of progress. If they're choosing to stay engaged with you, or they're choosing to stay engaged with what they're sniffing over what they would have reacted with before, then this is a positive step, and a client might not recognize that as a positive step because they are not picking up on the micro signs, and they're just looking for that bigger picture fix, if you like. So maybe think about how you can explain to clients using past case studies. Maybe you can explain to clients using storytelling, and thinking about how from a client's perspective, they haven't got the years of experience, the years of study, the years of watching dogs that you have, and just being around multiple dogs or multiple clients' dogs that you have. So they won't necessarily be able to pick up on those micro signs of progress as you would. So for them, the big wins are the only ones that they might spot, unless you're able to think about what those micro wins might look like and share those micro wins with the client. And this is the kind of thing that we're looking out for. We're looking out for a pause, or we're looking out for all four paws on the ground when maybe before they might have been jumping up on their hinds, or the little moment of quiet. That's what we want to be rewarding. That's what we're picking up on. So thinking about how you can encourage journaling with your clients and how you can encourage them to note down where they are now, and maybe just do a weekly journal, or if they notice something in between, they could maybe note that down so that they've got something to look back on. Because we all know that progress isn't linear. It's not going to be continuing on an upward slope, and there will be regressions. And to explain to a client that you don't know why there's been a regression, they don't know, and you don't know why there's been a regression. It could have been a bitch in season like 2 miles away that they could smell. You don't know. So to be able to explain to them that there may be regressions, and that's okay. It doesn't mean it's not working. There have been little internal shifts. There have been ways that the dog has progressed, is really important. And to also remember that as humans, we love a tick list, or we love some sort of praise that we're doing it right as well. So to validate the effort that they're putting in, and to ask them to think about their reactions to things. So are they staying calm? Are they actually breathing? That's one thing that I'm super guilty of, is holding my breath when I'm concentrating. So to think about how they're acting, and to really see how we can empower them to build the dog's trust in their consistent reactions and actions in a time when something may be not as predictable as they would like. So thinking about how we can set our clients up for success by empowering them and focusing on the micro baby steps, thinking about journaling, thinking about what visuals, what case studies, what examples we can give of dogs that we've worked with, or how certain clients found ways that worked for them, whether it was writing things on post-it notes and pinning them up so they had a success wall of micro wins, for example, that helped them to visually see how much progress and how far their dog was coming. Are all little things, little tricks that you can use to support your clients in successfully recognizing those micro wins. And also asking them how they're going to celebrate when they see a micro win. Are they going to celebrate by maybe treating themselves and their dog to a peaceful time in maybe a dog walking field that they've got to themselves, that they hire for an hour? Or what are they going to do to celebrate? Because celebrating those small wins and marking them for the client is equally as important. I hope that helps, and I hope you have a fabulous week.